Morning, guys. I hope you enjoyed your nice long 3-day weekend and enjoyed the holiday yesterday. I'm going to explain to you Common Rule 7 and 8 before you get into your IR work. So, Common Rule 7 is kind of a basic one that you probably learned a long time ago. And it tends to be easy for people to remember, but it's also something that it's easy to kind of forget and look over. So, this is dealing with whenever you write a city followed by a state, such as Frankfort, New York. You have to put a comma in between the city and the state to separate them. So if you were to have Frankfort, New York, it would be Frankfort, comma, New York. So here you see I was born in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Goldsboro is the city, North Carolina is the state. You need a comma in between them. If you are to continue a sentence after the state, you need to add an additional comma after the state name. So here, the second sentence adds more. I was born in Goldsboro, comma, North Carolina, because city, then state. But now notice the rest of the sentence, there's more to it. So now there now needs to be a comma after North Carolina as well. I was born in Goldsboro, North Carolina at Wayne Memorial Hospital. The comma goes after the state to separate it from the remainder of the sentence at the end. Similarly, if you're listing out a full date, like May 26, 2020, you need to have a comma between the day and the year to separate those numbers. Okay. For example, Jerry's birthday is June 21st, 1973. You put a comma between 21 and 1973 in order to separate those numbers so that you know that 21 is the day and 1973 is the year. Please, as a side note, realize that while we say June 21st, we never write ST. We don't write TH, RD, any of those. We say them, but we don't write them. Okay. From here, it's another similar rule to what it was before. If you add on to the sentence after the year, again, you need that comma after the year. Jerry was born June 21st, comma, 1973, comma, because there's more to the sentence, in a cab on the way to the hospital. Okay, so that's kind of the same. Now, the time when you don't need a comma is if you just give a month and a year, because there's no numbers really to separate. Lots of people were born in June 1973. Notice there's no date, there's no number there for a specific day in June, it's just the entire month. So there's no comma between that and the year. Comma rule number 8 is a little bit trickier. So this one is dealing with when you are describing something using adjectives. Adjectives are words that describe a noun, a person, a place, or a thing. You will use commas to separate these adjectives if they are equal, and it doesn't matter what order that they're put into. If the order does matter, then you would not put a comma. So here's an example for you. Let me turn this back on. In our first example, the athletic intelligent boy won many scholarships. Athletic intelligent are both adjectives that describe the boy. If you can flip them, the intelligent athletic boy won many scholarships, and it means the same, then you put a comma in there. If you can also put and between them, and it makes sense, that will also tell you to put a comma. The athletic and intelligent boy won many scholarships. That would also make sense. So since you can switch athletic and intelligent, you can put the word and in between those two adjectives and those two words, and it still makes sense, a comma is needed. However, if you have two adjectives that describe a noun, two words that describe a noun, and they cannot be flipped, the order does matter, you cannot put the word and in between them, then no comma is needed. So for example, the new brick house was lovely. So let's first try to flip the adjectives in the order and they appear. If we said the brick new house was lovely, that doesn't really make sense, right? Our second check is to put the word and in between them. The new and brick house was lovely. That definitely doesn't make sense. Since you can't flip the order of those adjectives, since you can't put the word and in between them, no comma is needed. These are not equal adjectives. The order definitely matters, so no comma there. You are going to go through, practice to see your example sentences, which are correct, which are not, just as you have in the past, then submit them before doing your IR work. There will be no Zoom meeting today, which is Tuesday, because I have a graduation meeting for seniors at the same time, but I will be on Thursday. If you need help before that, comment here, email me, hit me up on Remind, or let's schedule a Zoom before our next Thursday meeting. Have a great week, guys.